Tokyo, Japan, the city of neon lights and bustling crowds. In the heart of this metropolis lived three curious cats, Momo, Tora, and Piku. They were the best of friends and loved nothing more than exploring the nooks and crannies of their hometown. But one day their curiosity led them to an even greater adventure when they discovered an old suitcase hidden away in the attic. Inside the suitcase, they found a map of Japan with mysterious symbols and a faded note that read, "Uncover the secrets of the land of the rising sun." Intrigued, the cats set off on a journey to explore every corner of their homeland. First, they visited the sprawling metropolis of Tokyo, which was once a small fishing village named Edo. As they strolled through the city, they marveled at the towering skyscrapers and the bright lights of Shibuya Crossing, the world's busiest pedestrian crossing. They explored ancient temples nestled between modern buildings and soaked up the vibrant atmosphere of the city. The cats then took a moment to appreciate the serene beauty of Shinjuku Gyoen Garden, a tranquil oasis in the bustling city. This exquisite garden showcases the beauty of Japanese landscaping, with its meticulously manicured lawns, koi ponds, and traditional tea house. As they continued their adventure, they came across a cozy cat cafe where they could indulge in a warm bowl of milk and watch the locals working on their laptops. The cats couldn't help but be charmed by the friendly staff and the adorable cats that greeted them at the cafe. They sat by the window watching the people go by and couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder at the different ways people live in Tokyo. But their journey was far from over. Next, they headed to the ancient capital of Kyoto, which had been the seat of power in Japan for over 1,000 years. As they explored the city, they marveled at the stunning temples, shrines, and traditional gardens that seemed to transport them back in time. One of the must-see attractions in Kyoto is Kinkakuji, the Golden Pavilion. This Zen Buddhist temple is covered in gold leaf and reflects beautifully in a tranquil pond surrounded by a picturesque garden. As the cats strolled around the pond, they admired the temple's stunning architecture and the peaceful atmosphere that permeated the grounds. As they wandered through the streets of Kyoto, they couldn't help but notice the delicate beauty of the city's traditional wooden houses and the intricate craftsmanship of its many shops and restaurants. They stopped by a local tea house to learn about the ancient art of the tea ceremony and were mesmerized by the quiet dignity and grace that defined this centuries-old tradition. But it was in the small details that the cats found the true charm of Kyoto. They marveled at the vibrant colors of the blooming cherry blossoms in the early spring, or the fiery hues of the maple trees in the autumn. They watched as locals dressed in colorful kimonos and yukatas strolled through the Gion district, one of Kyoto's most popular tourist destinations, known for its traditional wooden buildings and preserved geisha culture. In Gion, the cats stumbled upon a small shrine dedicated to the maneki neko, the beckoning cat statue believed to bring luck and happiness to homes and businesses across Japan. They learned that these statues are not just decorative items, but are actually thought to be powerful talismans that can attract wealth, happiness, and good fortune. The cats took a moment to appreciate the intricate details of the statue and the reverence with which it was treated by the locals, but their journey was far from over. Next, they set off for the small island of Tashirojima, also known as Cat Island. Legend has it that a fisherman rescued a cat from a burning ship, and in gratitude, the feline community thrived on the island and now outnumbers the human population. The cats couldn't resist the allure of an island full of felines and decided to pay a visit. Upon arriving on the island, the cats were immediately greeted by dozens of friendly faces, both furry and human. The cats spent the day playing with their new feline friends, chasing each other through the streets and basking in the warm glow of the afternoon sun. They climbed trees, explored hidden alleyways, and chased butterflies in the lush green fields. As evening approached, the cats gathered around a small shrine dedicated to the maneki neko, the beckoning cat statue. They watched as the locals performed a traditional ceremony to honor the cat and ask for its blessings. The cats couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder and awe at the deep connection that the locals had with the island's cats. The cats learned that the residents of Tashirojima believed that the cats were not just animals, but were actually spiritual beings that brought good luck and happiness to the island. They were so revered that the residents built temples and shrines in their honor and made sure that their every need was taken care of. As they explored the island, The cats noticed that almost every house had a maneki neko statue outside, and they learned that these statues were not just decorative items, but were actually thought to be powerful talismans that could bring wealth, happiness, and good fortune. The next stop on their journey was a traditional Japanese village. As they walked through the village, they marveled at the rows of wooden houses with their thatched roofs and cozy gardens. The cats peeked into the houses and saw how the locals lived simple, peaceful lives. They also learned about the rich history of the village, which had been built over 300 years ago during the Edo period. They visited the village's oldest temple, which had been built in the early 1600s and was dedicated to the gods of nature. The cats were amazed by the temple's intricate carvings and the peaceful atmosphere that surrounded it. As evening fell, the cats sat by the edge of the village, watching the locals put up lanterns that illuminated the wooden houses and created a magical atmosphere. They sipped on warm sake and shared stories about the village's history and traditions. Before leaving the village, the cats left a small token of their appreciation, a tiny bell that tinkled in the breeze whenever the wind blew through its branches. It was a small gesture, but one that would serve as a reminder of their visit for years to come. As the cats continued their journey, they knew that they had experienced something truly special. They had witnessed the rich history and traditions of Japan and the deep connection that its people had to their cultural heritage. The next morning, they woke up early and made their way back home. As they approached their house, they noticed that the morning sun was just beginning to rise over the horizon, casting a golden glow over the rooftops. When they got inside, they couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. They had seen so much of Japan and learned so much about their country's history and culture. To commemorate their journey, they hung their souvenirs, a lucky ribbon from Kyoto, a photo of Tokyo's lights, and a tiny bell from Cat Island, in their living room. It was a reminder of their adventure and all they had learned. As the days went by, the cats couldn't stop talking about their adventures in Tokyo, Kyoto, Cat Island, and the traditional villages. They shared their experiences with their fellow cats, who were always eager to hear about the wonders that their friends had seen. And so the three curious cats, Momo, Tora, and Piku, became known throughout the neighborhood as the most adventurous kitties in town. If you love our Curious George series, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of our future stories. And if you have an adventure of your own to share, we'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Until next time, happy exploring. Momo, Tora, and Piku were three curious cats who lived in a small house in Tokyo, Japan. They loved exploring their city and learning about its rich history and culture. One day, they discovered a mysterious suitcase in their attic and embarked on an exciting adventure to uncover the secrets of their homeland. Their first stop was Tokyo itself, where they marveled at the city's iconic landmarks, including the bustling Shibuya Crossing and the serene Shinjuku Gyoen Garden. In Kyoto, they explored ancient temples and shrines such as the Golden Pavilion and the Fushimi Inari Shrine, and learned about the delicate beauty and traditions of the city. On Tashirojima, also known as Cat Island, they played with the friendly feline residents and discovered the legend of the maneki neko, the beckoning cat statue. Finally, they visited a traditional village where they learned about the simple way of life and rich history of the region. Throughout their journey, the cats made new friends, learned about the cultural significance of various landmarks, and experienced the warmth and hospitality of the Japanese people. They returned home with a newfound appreciation for their country's history, culture, and the importance of preserving its traditions. Now you know the story of Momo, Tora, and Piku, the three curious cats who explored Japan and learned about its rich history and culture along the way. What did you think of their adventure? Which part of Japan would you love to visit the most? Tell us all about it in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And if you want to continue exploring with us, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss any of our exciting stories. Until next time, happy adventuring.